numbers up or not really doesn't matter. We're going to continue to do this to show those really great businesses and charities. So that's what we're going to do.
I just saw the live thing pop up there. Did you see that?
I saw that. It kind of made me pause. I'm wondering if we're okay in the background. So,
Chris.
So I think we're all right. I think you would have.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any DEFCON 1.
Had a little technical difficulties, so there were a few channels that did not go live, but we are now live and ready to go on all the tubes.
There we go. Folks, you just heard producer Chris. You see, he's got our back. He's got our back.
He's good.
So anyhow, So on that note, you can catch this show on YouTube, on the Gardeners channel, the Lancaster Connects channel, on my channel. You can catch this on Facebook, on the same Lancaster Connects, Gardeners, our channels. We're everywhere. I mean, we're like everywhere.
And we're staying with Spotify. We're sticking on Spotify. We're not Neil Younging it.
You went there, huh?
I did. I know what the people want.
That's right. Give them what they want. So next week we've got Rachel Benbow. So a little change next week. It is going to be Valentine's Day. We want to dig deep into the love for our customers next week. So Rachel is a really great chiropractor, and she is going to be doing a live demonstration with this guy in the dream room.
Or just outside of the dream room.
Oh yeah, outside of the dream room. We just had this whole conversation about keeping it a family show, and like you go there, Spotify. I just about went there.
That's right.
Went there with that.
Yeah.
But we won't. But Rachel's going to give us some really great sleep tips through her lens of proper alignment while sleeping, and she's going to use this guy to demonstrate that.
We'll see how it goes.
Just because he is the more appropriate model for that kind of thing than I, and I'm okay to say that. That's just all there is to it.
That's the way it goes.
All right, Amy, thanks for sticking with us. Yeah, we had a couple glitches there. I'm sure Chris is on it if we're still experiencing them.
Oh, she said it just started to work.
Oh, there we go. See, that's how you play to win. You comment that we had a problem, and then you comment again that it's fixed, and now you're in twice for the contest.
Yep.
See, Amy's she's a Lancaster Connects veteran.
Well,
she's like a star. We need to have badges. We need to unlock those badges.
She missed seeing us at 2:00 on Monday afternoon.
That's right.
Let us know. Thank you, Amy.
That's right. So
we've got a great guest today.
We do.
We've got Melissa Ressler from the Lancaster Downtowners.
Did you have to read the notes to remember?
Well, you said.
See, didn't you miss this?
So the last 2 weeks I've had other guests on, and for some reason I had Heather's name. We were just talking about Heather from the Lancaster Rec 2 weeks ago, and I almost said Heather, but Melissa, I'm sorry. Melissa. From the Lancaster Downtowners. There she is.
Hello. Ben. Hello. Welcome.
Yes. Ben Jeffrey.
That's great.
Thank you, good Melissa. To be here with you guys today.
I love it.
I have these moments. So without further ado, tell us who the Lancaster Downtowners are.
Yeah, the Lancaster Downtowners are a nonprofit focused in the City of Lancaster, and we support folks who have decided that the City of Lancaster is a great place to retire. We are 14 years old. We were founded in 2008, and presently we have over 200 members who live in and around the city and who are working together to support one another for a healthy and holistic lifestyle.
Well, so you said 14 years ago. How did it actually start?
So it actually started, one of our founders is named Rod Hauser, and he is still involved with the organization today. And he was having a discussion with a group of folks actually at his church, and they were talking about, okay, in Lancaster, there are all of these great retirement communities that people can go to. And what if you looked at retirement in a different way? What are the things that those communities provide that we could instead maybe provide each other and keep going in the city? So they had a really lively discussion about this in their church Sunday school class, and decided they would see if there were other folks who were kind of thinking the same thing. Thinking that their blocks in the city, that their homes in the city were great places to continue and build community, and think about, okay, well, what do I need? Well, I want stuff to do. So we have social, educational, and wellness programming, thinking, well, I might need some help getting a ride to the doctors or shoveling snow. How can we connect in volunteers to help people to do this? And then to realize, okay, well, we can't do everything for each other. How do I find out what else is out there? And so we build in service providers and connections to resources and folks to help figure out the right way for each person to keep living as they want to live.
That is very neat.
We've had a lot of charities and nonprofits on over the last handful of weeks, and a lot of them have just grown out of realization that there's a need, a church group or whatnot, and just having a conversation, and then boom, here's this 14 years later, and throughout that whole time there's this great organization that popped out of it.
Yeah, and I think Lancaster is a really special place for that to happen. There's just a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of organizations who have done that. There's a lot of people really ready to step in with a lot of great make it work. A lot of great make it workness, oh, hey, we're in this together. Let's make it happen. So it's a great community to have an organization like this. It makes sense. It fits in the city here.
Well, it really comes down to one of my favorite quotes from Gandhi: "Be the change you want to see." Right. Mm-hmm. And I urge Paige, thank you for listening. Appreciate your comments. Paige is a commenter, loves your organization there, Melissa, and she's tuning in all the way from Ephrata.
All right.
So that's a long jaunt from Lancaster City.
It is.
Not so much of a long jaunt through the internet. But in the vein of be the change you want to see, Ben has urged anybody listening, if we put a charity in front of you, a cause in front of you that kind of lights a spark, grab onto it and help. In this case, the conversation was, hey, not everybody can live at Willow Valley. Not everybody can live. Well, there's a bunch of them, but they just all flew off the top of my head.
Village.
Yeah, Lancaster. If you're listening and you didn't know, Lancaster County is retirement community mecca.
Yeah.
It really is. One of the number one places in the country to retire to.
Yeah.
But if you're not able, or you just don't want to live in that kind of more insular is not the right word.
Structured community,
planned community.
Yeah.
If you want to keep that city vibe, what would you do? So, I love how people came together. What were some of the hurdles in bringing this together?
Oh my goodness. So the energy that it takes to get a grassroots nonprofit off the ground. There is a lot of energy that it takes to be launched. And they did a great job with that. I didn't get involved with the Downtowners until 4 years ago. Until then, it was entirely volunteer run. So they went through, okay, how do we fund ourselves? How do we handle liability insurance? What is our strategic plan? And went through some fits and starts of growth, and at first the organization was really seen as a social club, and that's a good thing too. Everybody wants to be a part of a social club. But then when it decided to grow and say, well, we want to offer these volunteer services too, kind of fitting into a new mold or fitting a different footprint was something that, the Downtowners is more than just that group that always likes to get coffee, and kind of rebranding and reimagining and showing what a village is in the public eye. Now, we did have some help along the way for that, because at the same time folks were talking in Lancaster about this, there are communities all over the United States who are having these similar ideas. And it was really started with a group of folks outside of Boston. That was Beacon Hill Village. They started 20 years ago. Actually, we're celebrating the 20th anniversary this month. And that group of folks, they literally wrote the manual for how to start this type of village, how to get people together, how to get your volunteers, how to inspire folks with what the mission is of aging in community together. And so we had some help from them and from the Village to Village Network, which is the national organization that kind of helps guide and foster and grow community groups who are trying to do the same things that we're doing here in Lancaster.
So you said the word village a handful of times. What is your definition of a village when it comes to the Lancaster Downtowners? What does that mean?
Yeah. So a village is a grassroots, member-driven nonprofit that supports aging in place. It's about interdependence. It is about social connection. It's about a really holistic approach to helping people remain independent in their homes and contributing to their communities in the best ways that they can and know how. So, and villages do that through those sort of three main tiers, through social, educational, and wellness programs, through connection to volunteers to help with those everyday living tasks that sometimes get a little bit trickier, and then connections to other resources.
So you've mentioned you've been with the organization for 4 years. What, as an executive director, what is your responsibility there?
A little bit of everything, and that's why I love it. My background is in social work, and so I can, in the morning, have a meeting with a member who's making decisions about home care, or what are some next care decisions they need to make. The next hour, I might have a meeting with our PR and communications committee, or with our fundraising committee about next steps for the organization. And then we also get to move into larger collaborative initiatives and really looking at what are some changes we can make in the city that's going to impact older adults everywhere. So it's, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Comment in from Richard. Richard retired to an old 3-story townhouse in the city because they love it. I'm assuming the city that is, and maybe their house. I'm sure it's both. But we know that it will be a challenge as we continue to age. So it's great to know that there's an organization that focuses on aging in place. Thank you. So, there we go. This is the exact intent of our show.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You talked about, so there's a three-prong focus, it seems, with your programs.
Yeah.
I wrote the one down, and then I kind of was listening to the other two and I forgot. But the first one is what I wrote down because it kind of grabbed me. Social education and wellness. What's the focus of that prong or that leg in the stool of what you do?
Yeah. So the point of it is to bring people together. You're only as strong as your neighbor, and you need to know your neighbor to be able to ask for help or to be able to provide support. And so we really want to use that to build connections and form relationships. And how we do that, we have a walking group who meets 3 or 4 times a week. They meet at 8:00 and walk 3 to 4 miles every day. We have regular book clubs. We have folks who just get together for coffee. We bring in other information and educational resources. Some of that is really targeted towards resources that you might need to age in your home in the city. And some of it is just general interest. So we'll hear from local authors. We will hear from maybe professors lecturing on climate change. Looking at a program coming up to discuss what is critical race theory. And so really there's just a number of different programs that anybody could be interested in.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. We have a question that just came in about minimum age for participation from Amy, and it may be part of a broader question of, how does somebody become a member of the Lancaster
Yeah,
Downtowners?
absolutely. So there is no minimum age. Our members range in age from their late 40s to their mid 90s. So we have a huge age range there, but we are focused on providing services and support for seniors. And so folks who have joined in their 40s, 50s, and 60s are kind of looking towards the future and wanting to make sure that this organization is here as they want it and as they need it. So I would say the typical member would be a woman who lives independently in her 70s. That's kind of our most common downtowner. So you join we are a membership-based organization. So you pay dues for a year, and that's based on income. So that ranges anywhere from one person lower income membership is $80 for the year, up to a two-person household for a higher income would be $318 for the year. So anywhere in between there, sliding scale.
Okay.
And somebody can sign up on your website? Is that?
Yep. You can sign up on the website. You can give me a call and I'll mail you an application if that's how you prefer. So yeah, see the website there. Thank you. You can sign up online or give me a call.
So your members that are younger age, 40, as an example, what is their contribution? How are they additive to the Downtowners?
Oh, in so many ways. If someone is a downtowner, they really value an intergenerational connection. They see the strength of being in the city with all sorts of people. And so folks who are in their 40s are often active on our committees. We're run by, I only have so much time in a day. So we have a lot of committees who are active and operating, and so there is room for professional growth, personal growth, and advancement on the committees. We also have a lot of the younger members who join and are more active on the volunteer side of things. They join because they like to help with the technology coaching. They like to help giving rides to the doctor's appointments. They like to dog walk or cat sit or make daily reassurance calls. And so we just provide a more holistic ability to participate when you're a member and a volunteer.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought was the case. I mean, I like the connectivity. It was a mouthful for me there for a second. I like the connectivity of younger to older. I think there's always a lot to learn from the generations before us and vice versa. I think
Exactly. Yeah.
young generations can teach the old and old can teach the young. For me, my boys have made a little bit of money this winter shoveling snow.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a younger neighborhood, so I don't so much mind them making a couple dollars that way. But like as an example, right now, obviously it's wintertime. We've got some snow on the ground. We've got some ice. Is that an opportunity? Like if you're a parent listening to this and you've got younger children or maybe teenage children that could use a different life experience, is that a way to connect with the Downtowners to offer help?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We accept volunteers of all ages. We have good relationships with the universities and colleges in the area, so we often have interns. So we get to bring in the Gen Z there a little bit. And yes, so anybody can volunteer. We do a volunteer application. We do a background check process
Sure.
and look at that. And then there's so many different volunteer opportunities. So if somebody, has a 16-year-old who's like just interested in shoveling snow, we'll only let them know when somebody needs their snow shoveled. They won't get all of the information about all of the other opportunities. So we're able to really target that. So it's a volunteer opportunity that fits your schedule. So if you're someone who has a lot going on, sometimes it might be hard to make a 3-hour a week commitment or something like that. But this is just occasional as things come up, and you get to know someone really cool along the way.
Yeah, looking at that list you have up there on the screen, a lot of the folks that are part of the downtowners, like you said, they're aging. You mentioned some in their 90s, 80s, 70s, and oftentimes a lot of those tasks and responsibilities that are on the screen there fall to maybe their children. But if the children aren't nearby, what do they do? And
Exactly.
that's the need that the Lancaster Downtowners fits so well. It's such a cool service that you provide there.
Yeah, and that's how I grew up northwestern Pennsylvania in a small town, and the things that the downtowners do for people, that's what my family was doing for neighbors and for one another. That's what our church was doing for neighbors and one another. But yeah, if you are someone who, like so many other people have seen, Lancaster is a great place to retire. Let me go there, even though I don't know anybody. It's an easy way to connect in. Or, maybe you've lived here for 6, 7, 8 decades, but your kids have moved to other parts of the country. To just know that there's this resource here, so that it's peace of mind. It's a peace of mind policy.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that it is connecting neighbor to neighbor in a way. I really like that. Again, I think if you're, you don't have to live in the city to do this. You could live anywhere. But if you see somebody struggling, whether that's through age, through ability or disability, maybe they're just like, they're really working hard. Maybe a spouse lost the job and the other spouse is picking up hours, and please do help your neighbor.
Yeah.
Right. Like, offer to rake the leaves, snow shovel. I mean, for me personally, like, I love when it snows and I'm home. This winter I've been traveling whenever it snowed. Thankfully, my boys are old enough and responsible enough to help mom out while I'm gone. But like, I love when it snows because I love using my snowblower. And I mean, I just like disappear. I mean, I go 5 houses that way, 4 houses this way. We had neighbors move in. I met him for the first time because here comes this guy just plowing down the sidewalk with a snowblower. I'm like, hey, I'm your neighbor. I live at the corner. I like my snowblower. But doing things like that, I think, are what make, and I see a lot of it around town. I see a lot of it here in the county. That's what makes us special. And I think we do need to hold on to that. We need to reach and do more as we seemingly get busier as a society. I think it's important that we find the time to take actions like that.
Yeah.
And if you want to be more focused with it, you connect with somebody like Melissa with the Downtowners to do that. So to get introduced to you, to get more connected to you, do you have any upcoming events going on?
Yeah, we
with the
do.
Downtowners?
Yeah, actually, next Tuesday, the 15th at 7 p.m., we're going to be celebrating National Village Day. So this is a big deal for our movement and our organization. And so at 7 o'clock, I'll be in conversation with one of our founders, Rod Hauser, and a few other special guests who have will really tell the story of how the Downtowners came to be, and some of those fits and starts there. So that's a public event. Everybody can go to our website and register. It's virtual. And so you'll just log on to Zoom at the right time, and we'll look forward to chatting there. And then we are very much looking forward to some more in-person events out and around town here in the spring, and as things get opened up a little bit more again.
Do you normally have those types of events that you've had to move away from? And
Yeah, that was a big switch for us. We have a very kind of small office space. We were always just out in the community. We were out at coffee shops and restaurants and the library, and just kind of out doing things everywhere. And so it's been a shift to try and switch to Zoom and virtual and maintain those relationships and connections. So we've been creative with it. We had a hot dog roast in December. We have done some nice happy hours at the Wolf Museum. So we're making it happen, but ready to get back to normal.
Did you find, obviously, the last 2 years, the shift from in-person to virtual, I would imagine with, the age group of the average Lancaster Downtowner, was that a difficult thing to navigate, or did you find a lot of your members, were they able to get like use their cell phone to get on a Zoom meeting, or was that an opportunity for younger people to help them navigate it and kind of walk through?
Yeah, I would say in March and April of 2020, myself and some of our volunteers trained probably 30 people in their 70s and 80s how to use Zoom, how to get on, how to start a meeting, and they used it not to connect just with us, but then to connect with their families and with the other things that they were doing too. So
Yeah.
it took us a little bit, but now it's kind of just down to, do I want to do this or do I not want to do it? Everybody knows how. Almost everybody was able to get connected in. Just getting a little bit of Zoom fatigue, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that exists, but I mean, I mean, again, COVID gave everybody a lot of things to think about and do differently and handle differently. But in a way, it was a blessing in the fact that you have now folks that might not have ever jumped on Zoom now can. They're empowered.
Yep.
And maybe for that birthday for their grandchild or great grandchild that they wouldn't be able to interact, I'd hope that they can now. And I think that's kind of neat.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
that's one, I always try to look for those silver linings, those positives. Like I liked back in that same time frame, I think our families gathered around the kitchen table more so than they ever had. And I hope a lot of families kept doing that.
Yeah.
I know ours has, but so that's very cool. Like for me personally, my grandparents are getting up there. They were always very resistant to technology, still are, and it's not great. Like my sons are missing out on their grandparents, and they're missing out, and it's what it is. And now they're at an age where they're in an assisted living facility where that staff is just so overwhelmed that opportunity just isn't there. So again, I guess take away this: if you've got a grandparent that's got a cell phone and they don't quite know how to Zoom yet, help them out.
Yeah.
Because you might hope that someday soon they can do that. Because it's not just for the birthdays, it's not just for the connectivity. It might really be something that really helps them navigate an issue. Connect to a resource like Melissa has.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, that's a skill that people are now using with virtual doctor visits, virtual medical visits. It's something that really opened up a number of other possibilities. And, I think our silver lining for that was throughout the pandemic, we're full of folks who are usually connected into the community. And we had a lot of downtowners who were used to volunteering at the library, in the schools, with the Literacy Council, who weren't doing that anymore, weren't able to do that. And so what we were able to do was help pilot a program called Z Tutors that connected older adults with students in school district of Lancaster for shared reading time. And so they used an online, we taught, Zoom lessons, sharing screen lessons, and focused tutoring kids on their reading skills with that technology. So, there's so many things that you can do besides a FaceTime birthday call once you have those skills under your belt.
Yeah. And I mean, on that note, I did my kids' school had I think a lot of schools have this program. It's called like Watchdog. I think that's what it's called, Watchdog Dads. And where dad comes in for the day and navigates with their child's class and then other classes. And the funnest part of that day for me was having the kids read to me, and they were so proud.
Yes.
They were so proud of themselves, no matter which level they were on, to be able to read to somebody they looked up to in that moment. So what a neat thing for your folks to be able to do, even in a virtual setting. So very important. And again, if you're listening, if you're thinking, well, how would I connect with this? I don't really have skill. If you can connect on Zoom, there you go. You can be a part of that program. That's very cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
Melissa, I read on your website about sponsorship opportunities. What sponsorship opportunities exist?
Yeah, so we have annual business sponsors who support our work. We are so thankful for them. And so what we do, we recognize folks or the business or organization for 12 months, invite you to our annual meeting, put your logo on our website and in our monthly newsletter. At certain levels, we invite you to present programs and really get connected into our membership, get your business out there in front of our 200 plus members. So we're grateful. There's different levels. Thanks for scrolling through those sponsors there.
Yep.
Recognize a handful of names on there.
Yeah. What's that, Palomo?
Yeah. Jeffrey
Palomo. Yeah.
Oh, he's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. He
great community supporters.
So great shout out to him. So he was Jim Gardner's legal counsel, which sounds terrible.
right.
But, the reality of most attorneys in this world is they're involved in non-terrible circumstances.
It's true.
But Jeff was Jim's representative when we bought the business, and it was all very good. Like there was zero frustration with any of it. But yeah, Jeff was a very great guy and helped,
also a customer
and helped really both parties be very happy once the keys were handed over to the business. So
yeah, he's a great guy, and moving into 2 Lancaster offices this year. So to see a little bit more of him.
Yeah, he'd be a good podcast guest.
I think we'll have to make that invitation. So you've got the sponsorship opportunities. Again, because I think we went through it pretty quick. Maybe Chris, we can bring up the volunteer opportunities just to get it on the screen. So while Chris is doing that, maybe there we go. Melissa, maybe pick like 2 or 3 that you like. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but is there like 2 or 3 that you can think of, or 1 or 2 where somebody came in and like just really got into it, like they really liked moving things around, or they really liked dog walking? You have any like kind of volunteer success stories that way?
Oh, yes. Let me think here. I would say my favorite thing that's going on with volunteers right now, we have a volunteer who is interested in helping with the technology coaching and has done some of this here and there, who went with a member. She had a computer that was, 10 years old, 12 years old, and was wondering why it wasn't working. So sat down with her, then went to Best Buy with her, helped her purchase a new computer, go through all of the, questions that come along with that. What do I really need? Went home, set it up for her, helped her, change internet service providers at one point, just like spent hours and hours with her until she felt confident using that in that way. And so now he's ready to do that with more people, and just really provide that really specific one-on-one coaching for folks who are not comfortable with their technology. So that's been really great. And then, we have a number of pairs who have been matched up for a morning check-in by phone. Sometimes they text, sometimes they call. It's just usually folks who are living alone and just want to have that extra check-in there. And they'll sign up and be kind of officially paired for 2 months, 3 months, and then they'll stop. The volunteer will kind of stop reporting to us, that they're doing this. And it's because they've just become friends. It's because it's just happening now. It doesn't need to, it's not a volunteer task anymore. And that's kind of our goal for how things go. So.
Yeah, neat. And just because we do put this out to audio, I'm just going to read off this list real quick, because obviously if it's audio, you can't see it on your screen as you're driving in the car or listening to us as you work out. But, so transportation, shopping assistance, medical insurance forms, mail, newspaper pickup at the post office, simple household repairs, moving things around, light housework during transition, in-home assistance, meals cooked or delivered, billing assistance, That morning check-in you talked about, that's a super easy one. Leaf and snow removal, vacation services, personal visits or phone calls for company and conversation. So if you like to sit down and drink coffee, there you go. Plant care, document support, wellness, home maintenance, dog walking. There's a great one you could do with your child. Bring your kid along, and your child can learn from not the next generation, but the next one, which I think is very important. Technical support with phones, TVs, computers, printers, and that's the story you related with your volunteer going to Best Buy, which that's great. I just went to Best Buy. We bought our son a new computer for his birthday, and I don't understand any of it. My biggest thing was just give me the one that he's going to be able to keep for a while, so we don't have to keep coming back here and upgrading and buying these things. That was my biggest thing I needed help with. But yeah. So that's the list of those opportunities. I think
we're almost done.
I think that's it.
Okay, great.
Just to kind of wrap up, how else can Lancaster Connects and the Lancaster Connects community help the Lancaster Downtowners?
Oh, just know about us. Tell your neighbor about us. We have been one of Lancaster's best kept secrets, and we don't need to be a best kept secret anymore. We've got a lot of folks ready to connect. We've got a lot of volunteers ready to serve, and people excited to meet you. So reach out to volunteer, join. If that's not right for you, just tell your neighbor or friend who might be interested.
Yeah, that's great. You know, I'll admit I didn't know anything about the Lancaster Downtowners before 2 weeks ago.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
When you watched an episode and hit the guest page and submitted your form, and I thought, Lancaster Downtowners, that sounds cool. What is it? And here we are talking about it. So
here we are.
cool.
It's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for watching and thanks for being on.
All right, great. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Oh,
we've got the connection cocktail.
Yes, he's doing the.
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Melissa's like, doing the theater.
There we go.
Like it just got serious.
Sorry.
Well, when we bring that up, Takesha, one of our great fans, Takesha's like just a ray of sunshine, like in a cup. She's amazing.
All right, thank you.
First time I met Takesha, she's just awesome. So she thinks what you're doing is great. She's heard of you, but never knew exactly what you did. So there we go. Amy is a fan as well. She'll be sharing. So again, this is what we want to do, folks. Please share the show. We have a belief here that it's time to move from success to significance. That's why Lancaster Connects exists, to be significant in the community and give back to the community that supports us. We began early about talking about downloads and views. If we make a handful of connections a week just like this, that's what matters, and that's what we want to do. So with that said, it is connection cocktail time. It's up on the screen. It's official. We won't make Ben do the shooter. You've got the first question, Ben.
I don't need to be made to do this. I'll just do this whenever I want to do this. So how long have you lived in Lancaster?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
Very cool. That was a simple question.
That's simple. I can do
it was
that
a one-parter.
Yeah, that was a simple one. And the answer was, I think, already in the show. So like it's like that question in class that like you got that cool teacher that gives the answers.
If you're paying attention, yeah.
If you're paying attention, yeah. So this is always a tricky one, especially for folks involved with charity. And do not be afraid for shameless self-promotion here. Okay. So what is your favorite annual event that you go to?
The Lancaster Library book sale. Yeah, the big one they have. Yeah.
When is that?
Usually it's in August. They'd have it out at Franklin and Marshall. I think it was at Bonton last year, the old Bonton last year, though. But just huge used book sale. Huge fundraiser for the library. So I'm not shamelessly promoting Downtowners, but I will shamelessly promote the library. So I love that event. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, do you go there looking for a specific book or type of book, or you just like whatever you find?
I just go. It's so fun. Usually something I haven't seen before.
So I've never heard of that. So is that books like, tell us a little bit more about that. That sounds really
Yeah,
interesting.
so it is like all genres of books. They have kids' books, they have records, fiction, nonfiction, and it's just whatever has, yeah, they have everything. It's just whatever's been donated throughout the year. And so
Okay.
they have volunteers that work and get everything categorized all year. And you can come away with just bags and bags for $10, $20 of, things that are decades old to this year's bestsellers. So
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Bags of records. I like it.
Yeah. So interesting note about books and the sale of books. We're kind of making Connection Cocktail a little more involved. It's like a high-class mixology conversation.
It's like happy hour.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of things and a great little drink. But on the note of books, so my grandfather was in the book business, so that meant publishing, having bookstores, but he kind of pioneered something called the book bus, where he would go around to like expos and fairs, anywhere people gathered. He'd bring this old tour bus that he retrofitted with bookshelves, and he'd sell books. And what he did is he would ask, kind of like, when you go to the grocery store and round up your change, he would ask you to throw in a nickel or a dime, and he'd pull that money, and he would say, "I'll buy a book for a local library." And what that really meant is those books went into the inner city. Most times, he grew up in Quakertown, most time in Philadelphia.
Okay.
That's kind of where he took that. So back in the 60s, that was kind of a novel, kind of revolutionary thing, that the giving back ended up going into the city in that way, through books. So I kind of thought that was neat
That's
to
so cool.
share.
Yeah, there
with,
you go.
with the big
Good
book
job.
sale.
Nice.
So what?
All right. So last question.
Okay.
Turkey Hill, Sheets, or Wawa?
Turkey Hill.
Okay.
Any gas station that prioritizes ice cream is good with me.
That's the best answer.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
As you can tell, I have prioritized ice cream in my life as well.
I think that's one of the best things you can do with your life.
Yes.
Yeah, when the Turkey Hill half gallons go on sale for like 2 for $5, you just
I
load
love
up.
it. Yep.
Just load up. Well done. Good answer.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Well, Melissa, it's been a joy to have you on the show.
This has been a great Monday afternoon. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
having me. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We've had the Lancaster Downtowners info on the screen. It's in the post where you're watching this, if that's on social media. If you're listening on the audio podcast, it'll be in the show notes for the show. So please do connect, lancasterdowntowners.org. On Facebook, just go to /Lancaster Downtowners. And you can even call. We verified this.
Yes.
You can call Melissa at 717-584-1224. And if you want to email, info@lancasterdowntowners.org. So all great ways to connect there. Please do. Please be that change you want to see right here in Lancaster. They have their event coming up on Tuesday the 15th at 7 o'clock until 8:30. You can check that out on their website. There is no fee for that. And that is a complete virtual event. Is that correct?
Yeah, completely virtual.
Virtual event via Zoom. Right on the website, you'll be able to sign up and join for that. All right.
All right. Thank
So,
you both.
Melissa, yeah, thanks for joining us. I'm not sure if we covered this in the pre-show, but if you need to get on with your afternoon, please feel free to do so. Unless you want to stick around and just watch backstage this tomfoolery that we have for everybody else. But thank you so much for joining us and all that you do for Lancaster. We appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. Thank you both. Take care.
Yep.
You too.
All right, it's tomfoolery time. You've missed it for the last 2 weeks.
As if there wasn't enough already.
Yeah. So if you want to be a guest on the show, just as Melissa did, go to lancasterconnects.com/guest. You'll fill out the form and we'll get you booked for an upcoming episode. Like I say in the opening, we're looking for those.
I feel like somebody's coming through the wall.
They're banging down the doors to get on the show.
I know the viewers can't see it here, but our warehouse is right next to us, and our guys must be putting box springs up
There.
on risers because they keep hitting the wall.
That's where the box springs live.
That's
gardeners.
what they do.
Right up there.
Hopefully the wall
But
stays
anyway.
intact.
You want to be a guest, go to lancasterconnects.com/guest. And again, we're looking for really great charities locally here. that we can help give a voice to. We can create some great content with the video that we just recorded. You get the YouTube link like right away when we're done. It's right there on our channel, and you can share that out in your network, and we're happy to create that for you. As a result of being on the show, businesses, we welcome you to be on. We just want to know that you're giving back, and we'll highlight that as well. All right, so fill out that form, lancasterconnects.com/guest. And we got a lot of comments.
We've had a lot of comments.
And those comments get you prizes, because we do prizes on the show.
You know what we haven't had? We haven't had a question about why you might sell your bike. That question has not been asked.
That has not.
By a commenter. So while we wait for that question to come in.
So my sister, I think it was at Christmas, found a picture of my first car, a 1981 Camaro.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that car. I mean, I think there's something special about getting your first car.
I see where this is going.
And yeah.
I see where this is going.
So at the event I was at this past week, I happened to meet somebody that restores classic cars. But, you know, most times people that restore classic cars, they restore them to the point where they go on TV on the auction shows, or they're like, you know, they're the cars that you only get out to drive for the Sunday car show.
Right.
This guy specializes in just making really great cars drivers. I mean, they'll do the full-on restoration, but very few shops, you know, kind of have that as a niche, but he does. And, you know, a 1981 Camaro isn't exactly, you know, it's not like a 67 Camaro. It's not like the first year Corvette. It's
special.
Yeah, it's special to me. And that's where his niche is. He's like, if you have a car that was special to you and we can restore it and make it a driver, we'll do that. And so
two and two together.
So it's going to happen. And I dropped this on Steph, my lovely wife, who's just amazing.
I don't laugh at the amazing statement. I laugh at you
at the buttering up on record.
Yeah.
So I told her this last night, and she wasn't immediately impressed. Mm-hmm. However,
need some convincing.
However, she just hasn't realized the full opportunity to spend an afternoon together in a safer car than on a motorcycle going down the road.
That is smart thinking.
And that's how I'm going to present it. So if you think I'm right, on that approach, let me know. But I'm going to sell the bike, I think, to fund the to help fund the car purchase.
I fully support your mission.
Yeah.
So are we ever going to see this photo?
It's on my Facebook if Chris wanted to like really dig into it. But
right.
I can do it, and we could have like Camaro watch as we go along.
That's awesome.
As we get closer to spring, summer.
When was the photo from? Like from high school or from?
Yeah, it was when I got it.
Yeah, nice, nice.
Yeah. So
my first car was an '83 Chevy Celebrity. Definitely not as cool as the Camaro. It was.
Chad will make it a driver for him. He'll find you one.
Okay.
If that's your thing, man.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
It was what I had, and I was grateful for it. So, moving on. So I've got a handwritten testimonial that came in this week from Teresa in Lancaster. And what I wanted to highlight about her testimonial, she had a great experience. She liked that she had an opportunity to take advantage of the Wake Up Happy Comfort Guarantee, which is a 120-day period of time where if you don't like it, you'll have an opportunity to find another one that works better for your sleep needs. But she did highlight that she got a mattress pad and sheets, and she highlighted that they were made in the U.S. and how cool is that with the question mark. So what I took away from that was that, the assumption is that there's not a lot of goods still made in this country, when the reality is almost everything in the showroom is made in this country.
Yep.
A lot of furniture is made somewhere else. We know that, and it's part of why a lot of furniture stores struggle with, bedroom furniture and dining rooms and sofas and things like that. There's freight delays and numerous challenges in the industry that way. But most mattresses in the store are made in this country. some even within hours of this store. Sheets, mattress pads, a lot of those items are made domestically, which is fantastic. It also means that we haven't been as affected really at all, but with delays and shortages and outages. Here and there we get every once in a while something, but nothing like that other industries have dealt with. So I just wanted to say thank you for Teresa for her words there, and obviously her business. But yes, it's very cool that there's still U.S. made goods out there, and most of what's in the showroom is U.S. made.
Yep. And then it's time for me with my sleep better tip. Excuse me.
I should say thank you for letting me do the tip the last 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. We keep meaning to mix it up. Anyway, so your sleep better tip this time is related to something that I've been doing. It's working, called time restricted eating. So time restricted eating is like intermittent fasting as an example. So you pick, a time frame that you're going to eat and then you're not. And the benefit here as it relates to sleep is when you get on this routine and you can follow it, you help your organs, your liver, your heart, your stomach, your GI tract, all those things connected get on the same schedule, and they actually improve and optimize for your sleep overnight. So, for me, I only eat between noon and 8 o'clock. I'm actually working to bring that down a little more.
Like
Earlier, yeah. And then I end up getting hangry. By
lunch.
I'm telling you, man, the hangry at 11:15 is strong.
That was about the time you asked me about lunch.
It was. See, you noticed, and you're the one always asking about lunch first.
I'm always thinking about food.
That's right. So yeah, that time restricted eating thing's pretty interesting. So if you're looking for these little levers that swing big doors, so to say, as it relates to your sleep, that's one of those things that it might be easier for some. Of course, you should, if you've got some health things, you should definitely talk with your doctor about that. But time restricted eating, look it up, see if it works, but it can directly correlate to your sleep because your entire body now is in alignment and on schedule. So that's the sleep better tip. Sleep better, eat better, feel better. It's like a 3-for-1.
And where can they get the book?
Making up for lost time. Oh yeah, see, I'm rusty. Go to gardnersmattressandmore.com. Just as I was giving myself a victory lap, Ben brings me down. gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. We will mail you out a book. 2 of them went out in the mail today to people who were very smart and got their own copy. We'll mail it to you for free. Just go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better, and we'll get you a copy out in the mail.
We're almost done.
We're almost done. See, this new format is interesting. So the format is new because I was listening to the show in the car and I realized, we're cool. We're kind of Lancaster cool, but like if you're listening to the show and you want to hear about our great charities and businesses that we have on, you got to get through us first. So I said to Ben, let's put our guests first in the show. Plus then our guests get to go do their thing. And you can just hang on for our awesomeness, which some of you are, and I appreciate that. Kind of helps my ego a little bit. So anyway, that's the reason for the new format.
I think it's a great format twist.
I think the last thing we have to do is just pick the winners.
Pick a winner. Let's spin the prize-a-later. We got a lot of commenters.
We did.
Somebody's going to win a $25 restaurant gift card.
And we can do the prize-a-later, which I like.
I love that Richard commented and found the Lancaster Downtowners.
Fingers crossed for Richard Murphy to win. Oh, Takesha wins.
Yep. There we go.
See, Takesha wins. She knows. She knows how to play the game. Congratulations, Takesha. You can stop at any time. We're open and pick up your gift card.
I didn't want to ignore. I did see a comment come in about waterbed supplies. We were a waterbed store back in the day. We probably haven't sold a waterbed in 15 years. It's been a long time. So unfortunately, no, we do not have waterbed supplies.
Yeah.
But thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, we appreciate that. If we can help you with something else that isn't a waterbed, we'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's the show.
That's the show. It's a wrap. Good
Thanks,
to have you
Lancaster.
back.
Yeah. It's good to be back.
I'll repay the favor in 2 weeks.
2 weeks when you're on vacation. Yep. All right. Well, till then, I am back. We'll both see you next week on Valentine's Day for the Customer Love Show. Take care.